What's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over how to build an AI ghostwriter, or like an AI tweet slash LinkedIn post generator. You can call it whatever, to be honest, okay? So how it works though is that it actually learns how to tweet and write like a specific person. So you put a collection of tweets into a knowledge base and push it up to our vector store, and we're gonna have our LLM generate tweets just like that specific person, okay? So the example I'm gonna use in this video is my good old friend Nick Abraham, okay? So he writes tweets about B2B lead gen, cold email, things like that. So that's why in the input when I write me a tweet on the best strategies to have my cold emails to avoid spam, it actually generates a post that Nick would actually write, and it shows the actual tweets from his Twitter account that we use to generate this actual tweet. So step one in actually building this is building a knowledge base of tweets, okay? So what I have is a CSV file or a Google Sheets file with a column for content, the platform, so we can just define it as Twitter or LinkedIn. I'm just gonna use Twitter for this example, and the date, okay? So these are just random dates I put in. So these are all, I put in like 30-ish tweets, I think. Let's see. 37 tweets from Nick's Twitter account. I literally just copy and pasted relevant tweets. And the key thing with this, with building a knowledge base for like an AI ghostwriter or like a tweet generator, you don't want to just use Twitter's API and just pull in all of your tweets, let's say. Let's say you're doing this for your own Twitter account or your own LinkedIn account. You don't want to just pull in all your LinkedIn posts or all your tweets, let's say, especially for Twitter. Because with Twitter, there could be a lot of noise. Like you could be shit posting, right? But that's not really relevant to the type of stuff that you're trying to put in terms of like educational content, right? You don't want to put your shit post inside your ghostwriter or like your AI ghostwriter. You want to put like your actual educational tweets about, like say if you're Nick, you actually want to include tweets about say like cold email, B2B lead gen, offers and automations and shit like that, right? But you don't want to put in like say anything about like shit posting and any of that in here, because then it's just gonna start the ghostwriter's gonna start shit posting, unless you wanted to shit post. Nonetheless, essentially the main goal with this knowledge base at the end of the day is to include data that is relevant to the type of content you want to write. That is the most important thing with all this. You have to give the AI the right data, all right? Once we have the knowledge base ready, right? All we have to do is for the data ingestion pipeline is take that CSV file, embed each of the posts. And if you don't know what embeddings are, it's just a way of turning text into a long ass list of numbers, okay, that actually represents these texts. So yeah, we embed each of these posts, and then we're gonna store these embeddings into a vector database, and what I personally use is Pinecone, okay? From there on, once all the embeddings are in our vector database, to build the actual AI ghostwriter, it's very straightforward actually. Again, the hardest part with all this is building a good knowledge base of tweets or of LinkedIn posts. Like that is the most time consuming part about all this. And I forgot to mention this, when building this knowledge base, it can't think for you, right? Like at the end of the day, you are your best you. So the best thing that you can do for your knowledge base is include all aspects of posts that you would usually talk about, right? So like, let's say you're an agent, a marketing agency owner, right? And you talk about like paid ads, hiring, like onboarding, things like that. You want to include tweets about paid ads, about copywriting, about the intricacies of hiring, how to onboard. You want to cover the whole spectrum of things you talk about. That way we can actually feed the AI the correct data to talk about that specific topic, right? Anyways, back to the workflow for the AI ghostwriter. How it works though is a user query comes in. So say I want to tweet on about writing a cold email. We're going to embed this user query, right? So we're going to turn this tweet or turn this question into a long list of numbers, right? And using this list of numbers, this embedding, we're going to find similar posts from the vector, from all the embeddings that we took from the CSV file, right? We're going to find similar posts, right? And put that into the actual prompt to generate a post just like it. And here's the prompt that I actually use for this AI ghostwriter. So it's below I've provided you an example, and I'm gonna put this in the description by the way, but below I've provided you an example of say platform. So we just would put this in the actual code, like a Twitter or a LinkedIn post to read and understand. Specifically, I want you to understand the content, the structure of the content, the tonality, blah, blah, blah. You must learn how to write this exact person. That is the requirement, because the whole goal isn't to create ideas for you. The whole goal is as a ghostwriter to replicate you at the end of the day, right? So here's the examples. We would actually include like 5 past tweets that you've made relevant to the topic that you're discussing. So let's say it's cold email. It'd be 5 tweets about cold email or 5 tweets about deliverability if you want to talk about deliverability, right? And then it goes, your job is to write a post that fulfills this request while replicating the style of the examples. And here's the actual like request. So this would be like, write me a tweet about cold email. So then from there on, I put here are your requirements. Number 1, the post must replicate the same level of vocabulary, tonality, language patterns, and content structure of the writer from the examples I provided. And 2, the post cannot read off like someone else. And it can't sound like an AI wrote it at the end of the day, because that's like the worst when you tweet and it just sounds like an AI wrote it when it's not you, obviously. But again, the whole goal of this isn't to generate new ideas or to like build off your ideas. It's again to generate tweets similar to what you have posted in the past. Because again, that's essentially what a ghostwriter does. It mimics your writing style while getting your knowledge base of everything you know and putting them down into tweets or LinkedIn posts, right? Okay, so now let's go on to actually implementing all of this. So like pushing the data up into Pinecone and obviously implementing the actual ghostwriter, right? So in the description, I have linked the actual GitHub repo to do all this. So let's start with data ingestion. So again, that's going to be getting our posts from the CSV file, embedding everything, and then pushing it up to Pinecone, okay? So once you do all the basic stuff, all you have to do is just get this script, and there's a typo right here. I'll fix that after this video. And again, so all you have to do is get the CSV file, like the one I built for Nick, or I wrote out for Nick, but just do it for yourself, obviously, right? And put it inside data-uploads as a CSV file, and then just upload it. So let's do that right now. Abraham .csv. And once you run that, you'll get an output like this. So there's 36 total rows. It successfully processed 36 of them. 0 of them failed. So if we go to Pinecone, right? So I called it post embeddings. There it is. Now we can see the tweets from Nick in our vector store that are embedded and all that. All right. So now, in terms of the actual chatbot, okay? So let's go check out that repo. So the generate post folder. In this repo, I give a full step-by-step instruction on how to do it. It's very simple once you follow the steps, but you really just have to run the Streamlit app and it'll do the rest for you. So let's do that. And look at that. This is the same AI post generator I started off with the beginning. And let's say, can you write me a tweet on catch all emails? Generate post. And look at that. Catch all emails are a hidden gem of cold outreach. They receive fewer emails, leading to a higher reply rate if the message stands out. Here's your game plan. Compile the list, verify the standard emails, and I think this is Nick's actual SOP on how he does this. Let's look at the context provided. And yep, this is from it. And notice too how in this example, there's only 2 tweets that the LLM used for actual reference. Reason being is if the how I built it was if the similarity score wasn't that high. I just put under 40 because I didn't put that much data. And so if it was under 40%, we didn't include it because again, let's just say I asked something dumb like, can you write me a tweet on bullshit, right? It should come back nothing. Look at that. We do not have enough relevant data to generate content for this. At the end of the day with AI, it's all about providing the right context at the right time. And if we cannot provide that, then we're just not going to generate the tweet or we're not going to include it. So when it only included 2 tweets, that means the other similar tweets it found weren't that relevant actually. So we just decided to throw it all away, okay? Because again, the last thing we want is hallucinations with all this. But yeah, guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much and I hope you guys have a great day.